morning and welcome. Thank you for joining me for a very special Earth Day press conference. I'd like to first begin by welcoming my invited guests, Ray Leon, the Mayor of Huron, and also the Executive Director of the LEAP Institute, Manny Ramirez, Council Member from the City of Coalinga, Bill Sponsor and Executive Director from the California Urban Forest Council, Nancy Hughes, and Mona Cummings, CEO of Tree Fresno. Thank you all for joining and for your commitment. We are gathered today to talk about Senate Bill 347, the California Community and Neighborhood Tree Fund, which creates the opportunity to make a voluntary contribution on the state income tax form in order to provide a consistent source of funding to CAL FIRE's urban and community forestry program, with a special focus on small urbanized communities that struggle with the long-term care and maintenance cost of planting trees. Urban tree cover canopies vary widely across the state. Disadvantaged and low-income communities and county unincorporated areas have less tree canopy cover than other communities because they can't afford the cost of tree planting and tree care. These communities struggle to fund and maintain urban forest programs, leading to an inequitable distribution of environmental benefits. Because of this, they suffer from greater urban heat island effects and worse air pollution. The issue that SB 347 addresses is the simple fact that tree planting programs come with a cost, and the communities in greatest need of trees have scarce resources to invest in trees as infrastructure. Fortunately, the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, commonly known as CAL FIRE, runs a successful urban and community forest program. SB 347 seeks voluntary contributions from individuals, corporations, and foundations to deliver annually a consistent baseline investment in urban and community forestry programs. The nonprofits that work closely with CAL FIRE today in this program will gain a great tool with SB 347 in order to market the Community and Neighborhood Tree Fund to their thousands of supporters. I happily admit that I'm a tree hugger, and SB 347 gives all tree huggers a chance to give directly to the Community and Neighborhood Tree Fund, a chance to plant a tree in a park or in a neighbor's yard or along the street. Every dollar that helps plant trees today creates a place for a kid to climb, to put a swing, or to enjoy some much needed shade and clean air in the future. I'm really excited to be working on a bill that can be part of that experience. Every California deserves an opportunity to have trees in their neighborhood, and that's what this is all about. It's the simple act of planting more trees. Thank you, and now I'd like to turn it over to Mayor Ray Leon from the City of Huron. Welcome. Mayor Leon, turn it over. There's no question that in rural California, broadband access is challenging, to say the least. Let me move on the agenda, and if we can get the Mayor Leon back on, happy to do that. I'd like to turn the presentation over to Manny Ramirez, Council Member from the City of Coalinga.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for inviting me. Thank you guys. First of all, Senator Caballero, it's a pleasure and an honor to meet you. Finally, I'm really excited to be in a program like this, and hopefully in the future we could be in other programs. Just, first of all, I think it's a great idea. I think I support it. We as well in the city of Coalinga, we just built a new sport complex, and we basically have about like 5-6 trees planted, and it's a sport complex. So I think if we get this program going, and it's going to help us a lot. Also, as well, we've been redoing our city sidewalks, our roads. So there's been trees that have been there for 100 years that have to be chopped down or taken out of the way, and it'll be a perfect timing to start some of those replanting trees that we removed. These trees were here for 100 years, and they're on our main street and some of the neighborhood. And like I mentioned before, a lot of the trees I would like to see would be outside of our creek bed. That's where our complex is at, and Granite actually has their construction there. And a lot of the dust and anything when we get a windy time, and as we all know in the valley, we get these winds that are pretty horrible. All that dust goes into Child Development Center, where they also have only like about one tree, and I would like to see if the West Hills College Development Center would like one right there. But other than that, I'm really grateful and I'm really honored to be in this meeting, and thank you so much for you guys allowing me to participate.
Thank you so much. And what we know is that Coalinga gets really hot during the summer, and there's nothing nicer than being able to sit underneath a tree and feel a little bit of a breeze when it's hot. So thank you so much for being here and for joining us and for supporting this bill as well. Let me check and see if Mayor Leon is with us right now. Any word for Mayor Leon?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you know what? Yes, we can. And I was just saying I'm working on a bill for rural California internet access. Welcome, yes, Mayor Leon.
Let's move on that. Well, thank you very much for having me participate in this press conference on during the Earth Day week. Of course, we know that there is not just one Earth Day, right? Because while we step on the planet Earth, it is an Earth Day. We have no other habitat other than Earth. So we should think about that and practice Earth Day on a daily basis. Trees are very important. You know, in our community, as you mentioned, it gets really hot on the west side. And it becomes worse when there aren't any green canopies, when there aren't any trees. The droughts have killed hundreds of trees, at least in my community, and I venture to say thousands in the region. And this is a huge problem for the people, for the planet, and for our pockets. We have a lot of folks that suffer from diabetes. One of the suggestions from the doctors for diabetics is to walk. People don't like walking in the hot sun, the hot weather. If we have trees, I think it helps people to walk more. If we have trees, it cools off the streets and helps people to be a little more active during some of these hot summer days or warm days. When we have trees, it also cools off the homes and saves us on our PG&E bill, right? Of course, when we have trees, it sequesters carbon. Carbon that needs to really be taken down into the ground so that the issue of the climate crisis can be mitigated as much as we can. I appreciate your bill because it will allow us to also have the infrastructure to maintain a lot of these trees alive in the period in which they gotta, you know, connect down to the underground
aquifer and become big, strong, and provide a lot of shade. There's different areas around our communities, such as in Huron, north of Huron. There's area that has been put out of production from agriculture for as far back as I can recall, where thousands of trees fit. You know, I'm hoping that this bill could help us work with U.S. Bureau of Reclamation to be able to plant thousands of trees there while we are making the effort to neutralize the carbon footprint of the city itself, and we could become a region that is carbon negative. That's, I think, in the direction where we all should be aiming towards, to go carbon negative. We cannot go carbon negative without planting trees to take down the carbon. And of course, going carbon neutral.
done in Huron is
we lost you, Mary Leon. I think we've lost the audio. Mary Leon, you're muted. You're on mute.
Did I go on mute there? So many benefits for us thinking outside the box, right? And single-family homes that are developed are now being built with gray water systems, meaning they're gray water ready, better said. So the homeowner could come in and set it up so that next time when the drought hits, their gray water coming from the restroom sink, the shower, the washing machine will keep the trees alive. And we won't have the death of hundreds of trees that like we did the last drought. And it sounds like this summer, this year, we'll be hitting another drought. So thank you for this solution that will help us green up our communities, cool them off. And the cooler community is a cool community. So thank you very much for being a cool senator.
Thank you so much, Mary Leon. I appreciate it. And thank you for joining us here today, and appreciate all your hard work. I know you've been planting trees in your community. You just need more resources. So that's what this is all about. Next, I'd like to introduce Nancy Hughes, the Executive Director of California Urban Forests. Welcome, Nancy.
Okay, sorry. Hi, everybody. Yep, Nancy Hughes. I'm the Executive Director of the California Urban Forest Council, and I'm very pleased to speak today on behalf of SB 347. The Urban Forest Council is a nonprofit organization founded in 1968 to advance smart investment in green infrastructure through education, outreach, community-based activities, and collaborative action. We envision thriving and prosperous California communities transformed by healthy trees and green spaces, and science backs us up. As the populations, in California, towns and cities grow, and climate change impacts quality of life issues through drought and increased urban heat issues, the need for sustainable urban forestry grows. And as you are so very aware, trees provide a number of vital benefits, including a myriad of environmental services, as well as addressing documented public health outcomes and improved economic opportunities, making all of our lives better. And with a looming drought, targeted tree care becomes so very important. And I was going to talk about us, but I'm going to skip that. What Senator Caballero says cannot be overstated. Disadvantaged and lower income communities in county unincorporated areas have less canopy cover than other communities due to the cost of tree care and the inability to manage trees as civic infrastructure. These communities struggle to fund and maintain urban forestry programs, leading to an inequitable distribution of environmental benefits and suffer from greater urban heat island effects and worse air pollution. This fund's targeted approach will help these communities most in need, as well as support others that also are in serious need of investment. We will use our outreach effort in support of the Community and Neighborhood Tree Fund opportunity and work to see it grow in order to generate dependable annual program revenue for existing CAL FIRE urban community forestry programs. Community-based organizations from across California will be encouraged to do the same in support. So please reach out to us if you want further information, and I thank you for the opportunity to share today.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for joining us and for all your work. Really greatly appreciated. Next, I'd like to introduce the CEO of Tree Fresno, Mona Cummings.
Thank you, Senator Caballero. So my name is Mona Nyandro Cummings, and I'm the CEO of Tree Fresno. I also serve as the San Joaquin Valley Regional Representative of the California Urban Forest Council. Tree Fresno is a small nonprofit that's planted 50,000 trees throughout Fresno, Madera, Kings, and Tulare counties since 1985. We specialize in the planting of large canopy, drought-tolerant trees, along with drip irrigation, to improve air and water quality, provide shade, and to lower greenhouse gases. Over the past several years, Tree Fresno has received grants through CAL FIRE's Urban and Community Forestry Program, which has led to the planting of over 7,000 trees throughout urban cluster cities and the Central San Joaquin Valley. The classification of urban clusters, unfortunately, does not include the valley's rural communities. Tree Fresno would really like to propose the expansion of this program beyond CAL FIRE's current definition of urban areas, what we're talking about today, as this cuts out some of our communities that most desperately need trees and aren't served by the state in any way. What we have found is that disadvantaged and low-income communities and county incorporated areas have much less tree canopy coverage than other communities due to the costs associated with tree planting, installation, and maintenance of irrigation, along with routine tree care. Currently, many communities that desperately need trees do not qualify under our grants due to the categorization as rural and not urban. In a region of the state where health conditions such as asthma is extremely commonplace, Tree Fresno is concerned. The fact that we know that trees actually remove dangerous air pollutants from the air, pollutants that have a direct and critical effect on people's immediate health. Trees remove smog and the components of smog, as well as small particulate matter from the air. In rural locations where there's less tree coverage, people suffer from this inequitable distribution of environmental benefits, as you mentioned before, as they endure conditions of lack of shade, extreme heat, high utility costs, poor air quality, and overall reduced quality of life. Tree Fresno calls this a lack of tree equity. American Forest states that the tree equity is about ensuring every neighborhood has enough trees so that every person can reap the benefits that trees have to offer. It is Tree Fresno's belief that placing the California Community and Neighborhood Tree Fund on the state income tax as a voluntary contribution fund provides a modest yet reliable source of funding for tree plantings like CAL FIRE's Urban and Community Forestry Program. These programs will increase our organization's ability to plant more trees in severely undertreed communities. It's Tree Fresno's hope that every neighborhood in California, including those of rural areas, will benefit from enough trees so that all people experience the health, economic, and benefits that trees provide. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your participation here today and all the work that you've done to green up the valley. It's tremendously important, and I look forward to working with you into the future. So thank you very much. You've heard the importance of trees to our community. There's so much that can be said about trees, whether it's to improve air quality so that people can breathe easier and we can reduce the incidence of asthma, which is very high in the valley, whether it's to cool down the hot cement during the summer and provides an opportunity for people to be able to recreate outside in a way that's different in the community, or whether it's to take out the small particulates. There's so many benefits to having trees, and an incidental improvement is that it also increases the value of the property where the trees are planted, because people understand intuitively that the tree shade on a piece of private property really adds to the value of the property. And there's nothing like driving down a tree-lined street, to know how to know that people in the community love their community and are willing to invest in it. And in many of our communities, that investment is cost prohibitive for either the county and incorporated areas or for the small urban communities that are there as well, like Huron, Mendota, Firebaugh, San Joaquin, Kalinga, all of those communities deserve to have the opportunity to have trees planted in their community. So thank you so much for listening to us here today. Thank you for joining as we unite on during the Earth Week and really celebrate the opportunity to plant more trees in our communities for the benefit of everybody. So that concludes our press conference. I want to see if there are any questions, and let me also thank you for hanging in there. We had some technical difficulties, and the technical difficulties, quite frankly, are what you find. I've been doing Zoom calls now for the past, it seems like a year and a half, and the lack of reliable internet access in rural California is real. And so our apologies if you couldn't hear clearly or things were coming in and out, but we did our best, and we can do these despite the fact that we're all located in somewhere else. So I want to see if there are any questions. If not, that concludes our press opportunity today. I'm checking to see. Yeah, no questions at this time. And thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator.
Thank
you
you
guys so much.
Happy Earth.